So I think leaders are molded, they're developed. Nobody's like born a leader.
ROTC, or the Reserve Officer Training Corps program, which is a federal training program that you train while you're going to college and then you commission as a reserve officer.
So I started ROTC my freshman year of college, and initially I wasn't interested in it. Like, it was kind of something that just my mom made me do, but slowly I realized that was my true calling, and it took time to get there.
Never something that I planned to do when I was growing up. My sophomore year at UC, at University of Cincinnati, I went to a recruiter station with a friend, and the recruiter realized that I was in college already, that I was open to the military. I ended up considering joining the military after 9/11 when I watched the planes go into the World Trade Center.
For Veterans Day, growing up, you could bring a family member who served. People brought their grandparents, their moms, their dads, and I would always just be oh, I don't have anybody, no family of mine has served. So I want to be that person that now in my lineage, so my kids and their kids, they have somebody to look back on and be okay, so my grandma or my mom, she served. I want to start that for my lineage because I didn't have that opportunity growing up. All my friends are ROTC. I did have a group of friends in the beginning of my freshman year at OSU. They went through ROTC, and those friends kind of fell off because they didn't have the same morals, the same values, the same compassion that an ROTC cadet has.
But it was challenging for me. I was to training in Fort Lewis in Washington State program with 20 other individuals, all men, all very athletic, all a little younger than me.
It took time to get there. I wasn't a great ROTC cadet when I started college. It was hard. It was not easy. I swam all 4 years varsity for Mason, but that did not help whatsoever with my athletic capabilities.
It was weeks in the field, sleeping in the dirt, you're carrying 70 pounds of equipment, learning how to shoot and fight and do all of these incredible things. Jumping off buildings, rappelling, throwing grenades, all these incredible things I had never done before.
Everybody first starts ROTC. There's around 26 people in my class. There were obviously more when we first started, people started falling off. People started dropping because it wasn't for them. I felt like my calling was military, so I stayed, I stuck through it.
There's a lot of different ways that they challenge you to kind of mentally, physically, challenge you to see if you're capable of leading. I would do physical fitness 3 days a week with all men, have to compete with them. We ran together, we exercised together, we learned together, we did all of these activities together. It was definitely challenging for me being a woman and to have to physically compete with them. I was always at the end of the running groups. I was always they were always yelling at me to hurry up and in good camaraderie, but it was definitely something that challenged me.
Especially somebody who's coming from Mason, we don't hear people doing that often. Nobody just joins the military. So I was made fun of, especially in the brown community, because it's not common for a brown person to be in the military. That's when I realized, are these the friends, are these the people that I want to surround myself with? Or is it the people who put me to my best self, who push me to be a better version of myself? That's who I want to be around.
I will say I've never been around such high quality people. I grew up in a great environment, a great area, but the quality of the people that I was working with and training with was very, very high. It was very impressive. But I think there was something about putting on a uniform and being equal and just like everybody else, especially in some of the context of being the only woman.
Outside of Mason, because we're pretty privileged being in Mason, and a lot of people who come to school with me aren't. So seeing all that, seeing that big gap, I think that changed something in me.
I think that really changed how I perceived myself, and it kind of gave me the confidence that I could do any kind of work. I could do any kind of role.
I wasn't always a confident person. I didn't really know how to speak in front of other people, and I didn't really know how to take charge and show leadership and stuff like that. So ROTC really showed me how to do that.
I think if I had to do it again, I would absolutely join again. being strong emotionally and being tested. My body was tested.
One example is the 9/11 stair climb, the Ohio State Stadium, football stadium. We climb up the stairs. I would never know what they went through, and I won't ever know what their families went through, but I can have a feeling that I am a little bit close to them, a little bit connected, because I recognize their efforts.
I did things that I never thought that I would be able to do.
It's like the thing where it's like the more you do of something, the more you start to enjoy it.